Erika Kirk stood in her grief, but she didn't break. She promised that Charlie's mission would grow louder, bolder, stronger. And now the words are echoing across the country. I am Charlie. What Charlie stood for was a platform that was never built on hate. It was built on conviction, on presenting facts, on showing up in places where opposition was the strongest, and still being willing to have a conversation. People didn't always agree with him. Many people didn't like what he had to say. But disagreement is not the same as hate. And that distinction matters. That's why people are rallying right now, not around anger, but around truth, spoken without fear. It's something that we need to consider as we navigate this very, very difficult time for everyone. Erika's vow was, she's making it clear to everyone, grief has become her battle cry. She's vowed his tour will continue. His voice will not be silenced. And in that moment, she wasn't just speaking for herself. She was handing the baton to everyone willing to carry the mission forward. People like you out there watching this video. The IAmCharlie movement is something I've noticed. It's not about choosing a side. It's about choosing conviction over fear. In the spirit of Charlie, it's about engaging people, even on other sides of the field, because truth deserves to be heard everywhere. It's about rejecting a culture that celebrates death and building one that values human life, something I think we could all agree on there. Erika has given us the challenge. So in this call to action, if we say I am Charlie, and it cannot be empty words, it must mean that we live with the courage to speak up with conviction, without hate, and without fear. That's how a legacy becomes unstoppable. That's how Charlie's voice will keep echoing long after this moment. I'll tell you this, I read all the comments, I see all the feedback, and I will tell you that in the long run, I think it's better for us to unite than to divide. Whatever powers that be wanted this to happen or orchestrated this to happen was to further separate us. I think there is power in unifying. I think there is power in hearing each other talk. I was a Charlie fan for a long time, and not everything he said I did agree with, but I respected a person who could go and have tough conversations, right, with opposition that wasn't always so in the mood to hear what he had to say. So from all of us at Outframed Podcast, right, like, follow everything that we're doing, all that, but really take care of each other, listen to each other, give each other space, and let's keep the conversation going. Have a great day.